continue with the discussion last time, that is regarding the practical voltage source. So an ideal voltage source which was talked about, which was supposed to give a constant voltage across it always, cannot be realized in practice, and what we get is a practical voltage source for which we can have an equivalent model which consists of an ideal voltage source plus an internal resistor. This is indistinguishable, it can't be separated out, so that what happens is the voltage across the source terminals. So these are, see, when I look at the actual battery cell, what we get, you get these two terminals which are accessible to you. So the practical voltage source terminal which are accessible contain one ideal voltage source and an internal resistor, so that as regards to voltage available here becomes dependent on the current supplied by the source. When no current is supplied, it is the voltage of this, but the moment at which some current is drawn, the voltage drops down, and therefore we get a VI characteristic like this. And then by having some arrangement, we can go for a regulated source, where the regulated source behaves like an ideal source within some constraints. Numbers 20. 22 is there? 22? So ideal voltage source which is supposed to have zero internal resistance cannot exist in practice. Then what would be your comment about ideal current source? An ideal current source is supposed to supply a constant current, say 2 amperes. Means always it should supply constant current. So if I do not connect anything across it, how much voltage should be there across this? An infinite resistance here. So the ideal constant current source must be capable to build infinite voltage across it, which it cannot build. Therefore, an ideal constant current source suffers from a finite, when it is very low, it is very high. So ideal constant voltage source is having zero series resistance, but which we can't get. So whatever we get is a practical voltage source which consists of an ideal voltage source plus some small resistance in series with it. Similarly, an ideal constant current source is supposed to have no impedance across it. Means infinite impedance. Means no, not zero. When I say no impedance, means it should not have any such thing. Means it should possess infinite impedance across it, in parallel with it. But we can't get that in practice. Therefore, a practical current source is an ideal constant current source with a very high resistance in parallel with it. What does it mean? If I connect some additional parallel resistance, then total resistance is reduced, voltage is reduced. If I do not connect anything, in that case also there will be some resistance, and suppose if it is 100k, so or say 1k. So if it is 1k, then 2 amperes into 1k, so 2 kilovolt voltage, maximum voltage which can build across a current source will be 2 kilovolts. I again repeat, an ideal constant voltage source cannot be realized, because if it is to work, then it must maintain constant voltage across it irrespective of any condition. So if you short, so ideal constant voltage source fails to fulfill the short circuit condition, because it will require infinite current to be supplied, and obviously infinite thing cannot be realized. So there is a limit on the current which can be supplied by a source, and because of that a very small series resistance comes in series with an ideal voltage source, forming a practical voltage source. Similarly, the ideal current source cannot satisfy the condition of open circuit, because if our ideal constant current source remains as it is with no connection across it, then it must build infinite voltage, and infinite voltage building is not possible. Therefore, there is a limit of maximum voltage which can be built across a current source, and that determines the parallel resistance along with it comes. So whatever the outside 2 points are these 2 points. So these are the points of, so this entirely becomes a practical current source. So this is indivisible. You can't remove this combination. So you do not have access to this point. So what you have access only here and here. You have access only here and here. Is it clear? So these are practical voltage sources and practical current sources. These are practical voltage sources and practical current sources. Now I would give a very simple exercise to you. Design a practical current source by using, design a regulated current source. Design a regulated current source by using, design a regulated current source of 10 milliamperes. Design a regulated current source of 10 milliamperes by using a practical voltage source, by using a practical voltage source of 10 volts and again 50 ohms. Design a regulated current source of 10 milliamps by using a practical voltage source of 10 volt and 50 ohm. Now, for a current source, what should be VI characteristic? For a current source, what should be VI characteristic? For voltage source, what was VI characteristic? If this was I, this was V. For it was like this. Whereas for current source, what should be VI characteristic?
Let the Y axis.
Like I and V, like this. For a practical current source, what will be the characteristic? For practical current source, what will be the characteristic? When it is shorted, zero voltage will be there and entire current would be available. And when we add some we remove short and add some resistance, there would be, what will happen? When we don't connect anything, so this resistance will be there. So that time, what will be the voltage? So there is a limit of maximum voltage. There is a limit of maximum voltage across it. And how much current flows through this? Now it's a very interesting thing. It's a current source. So if I draw it like this, you will understand it very immediately. Here we will take 20 milliamps and 10 kilo ohms is the energy. And this is the current source. So if you short this, how much current will flow? Coming out of the current source. I can't look inside. How much current flows in short? 20 milliamps. How much voltage is there? 0. If I put 10k only, how much current will flow? 10 milliamps. Voltage will be 10 volts. If I put it open, how much current will flow? 0. What is the voltage? 200. So it will give rise to zero current at some voltage, which is current value into parallel resistance. So it will have characteristic like this, and at some it would be like this. So a regulated constant current source, what I should do? It should be like this. A regulated current source should be like this, and it will go like this. It's a very good design which I have given, which will require you to think something. So regulated, what you are having with you? You are having with you the voltmeter, ammeter and knob. So you are having with you variable resistances, voltmeter, ammeter. So what you are supposed to do? You can have look at voltmeter or at ammeter, look there, do something. So how you design? You construct a diagram by which you it's very easy. Look, use one ammeter, one variable resistance, maybe one fixed resistance, and by using these three, you must be able to construct the source. Think something. So what you have? You have with you 10 volts and 50 ohms. This is, you can't change. I give you a hint. Have this, and this will work as a your regulated current source. So how we can decide? Suppose if you short this, how much current must flow? So this is the current. So what you do? You put an ammeter here. Here you are supposed to connect some load. Load is to be connected here. So you put an ammeter here. An ammeter. An ammeter is put here. You look at the ammeter. So when you short this, what should happen? So how much current should flow? I want a 10 milliampere source. So what comes into picture? 10 volts. This is 50 ohms. Right? This is 50 ohms. So for 10 milliamp current to flow, how much should be resistance? 100. Right? It should be 100 ohms. So you put this as 50 ohms. You put this as 50 ohms. You put this as 50 ohms. Will it be alright? Or there will be some problems? Now,
1 kilo ohm पाहिजे 1 kilo ohm पाहिजे टोटल सर 950
you connect say 5 ohms here. You connect say 5 ohms. What will happen now?
950 पाहिजे
Why?
current 10 milliamp
Okay, 10 milliamps, sorry. 9 right? 9 ohms. Now, if it is 5 ohms, about this, right now, whether this is required or not, is it required or not?
yes
Why is it required? I do agree that the problem given to you right now is something which we had not discussed, right? So you are supposed to construct something which will have this characteristic I and V is 10 milliamps. It should be like this, and after some time it should become like this. So somehow by adjusting something, either this you can adjust or this you can adjust if you want this. By adjusting something, you should see that this is always maintain 10 milliamperes. This is always maintain 10 milliamperes. So now what will happen? So momentarily, what do? We remove this momentarily. And using this, can you adjust everything? Suppose if this is made 5 ohms. So what you are supposed to do? How much current will flow? Current will reduce by 550, 9,000 and 1. So you will, so what you will do? This is a potentiometer of maximum 950. So what will happen? The moment at which you see that the current falls less than 10, you will reduce it. Right? So up to what you can make it 0? Then you can make it 0. That so if this becomes 950 ohms, that time you make it 0 and still 10 milliamperes current will flow. But if it becomes 2K or 1950 ohms, what will happen? Total would be 1950 plus this 50 to 2K. So current will 5 milliamperes. So from this at 950, at this to 950, what is the voltage across it? At this to 950, voltage across it is 9.5 volts. So up to 9.5 volts, it works properly as a constant current source. And after that, what happens? After that, current goes on reducing till this becomes 10 volts. At 10, it what will happen in open circuit condition? What will happen in open circuit condition? If you do not connect anything, no current, 0 current, 10 volts. So that is not required. It was required in regulated voltage source construction. So this provides me a constant current source, a regulated constant current source. This is variable. So current source usually we do not get. Most of the things we work on voltage source only. I again repeat, ideal voltage and current sources are not available in practice. So we get practical sources which do have series resistance for voltage source and parallel resistance for a current source. So their characteristic is not appropriate for us. So we construct for our applications the constant regulated voltage source and regulated current source. That's what we design. Actually, there is a power supply. How it is to be used, for that also we need to know something, but that we can talk at some other time. So with this, I believe that most of the things, almost all of the things of the first two modules, the fundamental network analysis, Thevenin's, Norton's theorem, Kirchhoff's laws and all that, and the second that is the transient analysis as well as sinusoidal state analysis. Almost everything has been over from first two chapters. But